So lesson one. So I should say
Wait,
create, right?
wait.
Okay.
um, build IntelliJ, Java, IntelliJ, JDK. Can you click on the JDK thing? Down, no, JDK line. You see, so we had two options. If you hadn't downloaded JDK, you'd have come here and downloaded it from here, right? So what is
Okay.
JDK? JDK is Java. It stands for Java Development Kit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what JDK stands for. Can you write that down?
J JDK stands for Java
Develop
Development.
Kit.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So now we have Oracle OpenJDK version 11. That's the one we downloaded, right?
Right.
Okay, that's good. Click on that. Hmm? Now we say create. So we wait. Nice. Nice. Uh, click the one that says, okay, that's good. You're good now. So on your left,
Mm-hmm.
click main.java. You see main?
Main. Ready?
Yeah. Click on that.
Double click or just one click? Okay, right there.
Okay. So now things look like they are happening. So now you see you see the green arrow.
Mm-hmm.
You see the green arrow after number one. Even there,
This one?
yeah. Go back to the on top. You see what it says when you show it says run. You see,
Yeah. Yes.
run like Murife. Don't run. You know, like run. So that's what we call for you to compile a code. So every time you write your
So the,
code,
okay.
uh,
So the run helps you to compile the code, correct?
yes, run is what you press every single time to test if to see what you've written in your code.
Okay.
Right? That's what run
Let me write,
does.
let
And
me write that down.
one thing I want you to know, don't worry,
Mm-hmm.
today we're going to go through everything you're seeing here, right? Everything you're seeing here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now, uh, I am recording.
Okay.
I click record, yeah. So everything you see here
Okay.
is gonna be
Which is good.
recorded.
Okay.
Don't share the license with anybody. They are yours.
Oh no, I won't do that.
Yep. Okay. Now, and then I'll try to send you the lesson video afterwards,
Okay.
so that you can go through it and see. Okay. So now let's take a step back before we jump into this thing.
Okay, sure.
So the first thing I wanted to tell you was that this journey is not going to be easy,
Okay.
but it's one of the most exciting journey. If you have ever worked on trying to expand your brain, trust me, this is the most you are going to do because it's mentally exhausting. It's sometimes challenging. There are going to be times when you want to quit, but hey, we've all been there.
Trust me, I don't quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
We've
just met a
all
guy
been.
that is ready to give it up, ready to do it up.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So what is coding? Right. So programming is basically
Mhm.
using software to solve problems in the world.
While you
Right.
talk, should I be writing or is
Uh,
what?
this is recorded. Then you write on the
Yes.
notes. Uh,
Okay.
uh, but you can make some quick notes if you want or something. It's fine. And if I'm going a little faster,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
that
I'm
that
go- can you hear me?
yeah, that song was making so much noise. I had to take it off my ear. Yeah, I don't know
Mhm.
if it's my computer from your side.
Oh,
Okay. Right.
okay, so let me continue.
Okay, sure.
So programming basically is we're basically using the knowledge we have, right? It's
Hmm.
called a language because it's just the way computers speak to each other, right? Computers speak to each
Sure.
other using something called binary code, right? In zeros and ones. Like for
Okay.
example, a a computer, if you say hi to a computer standing, it's not gonna understand what it is. But then
Hmm.
developers long time ago wanted to find a way where we humans can interact with computers. And then we realized that computers use something called binary code. That's ones and zeros, right? So anything else I type into this program, the computer is thinking of it as a 0 and 1, right?
So the binary code is simply 0 and 1.
Yes. So now to make it easier for the computer to
Hmm.
understand what I'm trying to say to you, that's why we downloaded the JDK.
Okay.
JDK is what you
So
downloaded before you downloaded IntelliJ. JDK is like a translator. Mm.
for the computer.
Yes, JDK is like Java Development Kit. That kit enables you to write the code for the code to be compiled and for the code to run. Why? Because the JDK comes with the JVM, which means Java Virtual Machine. And the Java
Okay.
Virtual Machine acts as an interpreter. When you write code, uh, it interprets it to the computer that you're working on.
Okay, so let me get it. So the JDK is like a translator for the computer, but the JDK also needs the JDM,
VM, the
um,
JVM comes
JVM.
inside.
Mhm.
It comes with the JDK. JDK stands for Java Development Kit. You see, just like the soccer kit, right? You watch soccer.
Yes.
You see, when the GOAT Lionel Messi, undisputed, is wearing a
Right.
kit, right? Uh, you
Yes.
wear a shirt written Messi with number 10. You wear a short, you wear his stockings and the soccer shoes,
Mm-hmm.
right? All that is
Right.
part of the kit. So that's the same thing
Ah,
as this JDK. The JDK will have the Java virtual machine. It will have the ability to compile, the ability to debug, right? So the
so
JDK
so
becomes
the
a,
JDK helps. So JDK helps the JVM to compile easily. Correct.
yes, yes, yes. Without the
Okay.
JDK, the JVM cannot exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So now the question is, what is IntelliJ? Right? IntelliJ is what we call an IDE.
Okay. 1 second. J-
Okay.
Okay. So into uh, I lost the last part. You say IntelliJ is what?
So IntelliJ, the thing that you downloaded, It's called
Mhm.
an IDE.
It's called IDE.
IDE, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And
Mhm.
let me send you a quick definition. Did you see in the chat?
Very good. Yeah. Yep. I see it loud and clear. All right. So IDE is stand for Integrated Development Environment. IDE. Okay. Let me write that down. Systems.
So you don't have to write it down. You just have to, I mean, you can write it down, but the easier thing is you just copy it from there and you paste it in a Word document.
Don't even think I have it. Oh, I think I have a Word document here. I just got this computer. So um or is there any typing stuff that what's that stuff? Type book. I think a computer always come with that type book, right? You can copy and save it in that stuff. I'm looking for a
Yeah,
way of not writing and wasting time. I just copy. Let me see if I have a Word document here. I think I do. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so I'll open this. Let me go back here. Mhm. Okay, copy. Hmm, paste. Why is it messing with me? Uh,
no, don't worry. I'll send you the notes.
yeah, so one waste. I don't know. It's messing with me. Yeah. Okay.
Because if it's new, you have to set those things up. Uh, so I'll send you the notes. So don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
But high level, a JDK is the Java Development Kit. And the Java Development Kit comes with the Java Virtual Machine. And the Java Virtual Machine stays inside the development kit, and it's what we use to compile this message. And then the IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. And what does that mean in easy English? It just means it's an environment for you to write the code. I give you an example. You want to make jollof rice, right? You are not going to go to the stove and start putting your rice directly on the stove, right? You're not going to eat
All right.
anything, right? So think of IntelliJ as a pot where you cook your rice from inside,
Okay.
and that pot is made in a way that the outside is very strong, that it
Right.
doesn't break when you're boiling. So that's the same thing. So you need an IDE, which is the pot, and inside the pot you need the JDK,
Right.
which is the suit that brings all these things, the JVM inside, for you to actually start writing code. Does that make
Okay. So
sense?
it's more like yeah. So it's more like an environment. Maybe a good way, from my own understanding, you have an area,
Mm-hmm.
you have a city where people build a house. So
Mhm.
the city contains where the house is. So without
Yep.
that city, you can't build a house in that city. So the IntelliJ is where the code, you do all your coding and all that good stuff.
Exactly. So that means IntelliJ is just one of the IDEs. There are so many out there. There is IntelliJ, there is STS, Spring Tool Suite. There is there's this one that other people use a lot. I'm forgetting the name at the top of my head. But IntelliJ is usually the one that is used in the industry. Right now, when I write code at work, I use IntelliJ for that, right? So
Okay.
I am teaching you an IDE that whenever you get a job somewhere, you're going to be familiar with it because everybody uses it.
Okay.
It's
Makes
a very
sense.
powerful environment. It's a powerful area, like you put it, right? Okay, so
Makes sense.
now I've touched on what is IntelliJ, IDE. Now I'm going to look at what is Java, right?
Okay.
Uh, I'm going to look at what is Java, right? So Java is, I'm trying to do. Okay, so that your thing, oh yeah, then share your IntelliJ. Because right now you'll be seeing me on the screen.
Okay. So want me to share now?
Yeah, share your IntelliJ.
Okay. Share the entire screen for share my IntelliJ. Can you see?
Yep, I can see your IntelliJ right now. Um, okay, so now let's talk about Java. Java is, you can hear me well, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, because the internet was acting up and also my face was the one on the thing. So that's why I removed my video to make it easier for you when you're seeing, so that you don't have to
Okay.
be seeing my face, but hearing my voice.
Okay.
Okay. So right now, um, what are we, okay, Java. So Java is a programming language, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's called object-oriented because we're going to touch on object orientation, what it is, etc. But Java is basically a popular, programming language like Python. There's another language called C++. There's another language called C, right? There are so many programming languages out there, and companies tend to also customize and create their own. But usually, whatever they create is just a version of a particular programming language that already exists, right?
Yeah. They
So
have
what?
JavaScript too, right?
Yes, and then so Java is what you use when you're creating software, when you're creating a lot of back-end software for you to become a developer, right? Uh, Python is what you use, what you learn when you want to become a data scientist. You
Okay.
know, Python is more like, Python. In Python, we don't really have to go through all of these things to be able to get to a point where we are able to write code, right? That's how
Right.
Python is, right? It makes things a little bit easier. But Java,
Mm,
you have to work for everything, which is good because at the end of the day, it kind of makes you to go through a lot of things and then you get the opportunity to learn a lot of things, right? On how
right.
things are fundamentally, right? So
Okay.
uh, the explanation of Java too, you are going to find it in the notes I will send you. So whenever we were having a lesson, then there is a particular form of notes I have. I will add it to you on my personalized note that you can then read.
Okay.
Okay, now I have explained what Java is. It's just a programming language that we use to write software, and Java is written inside an IDE. And when you
Okay.
write Java inside an IDE, when you run it, that's when the Java development kit comes into play, the JDK, using the JVM to compile and give you a response. Right?
Okay.
We're good? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, now explain that to me in your own words. What I just said, everything that I've spoken about, right?
Okay, so from my own understanding, you said Java is one of the programming language that we used. It's more like a software programming language that we use to um, um, run a program, and uh, we run that on an IDE um, with the help of um, a JDK, which translates those information to the computer using the JVM to compile those language.
Yeah, you said it in such a way that I cannot have said it better.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. I like that. You seem like you're a very quick learner, which is good.
I'm trying.
Okay. Now, we're now looking at IntelliJ, right? So, usually people give these lessons separately. You know, somebody will teach you Java and then will come in and teach you IntelliJ separately. I like teaching you everything as we go that you're going to interact with so that you have an
Okay.
idea. So IntelliJ, there are three different things I want you to see. Now, can you click on run? So if I say, can you run your code? I mean, can you click on that part?
This one?
Yep. You see down there, it says build, passing
Right.
Java. And then you see down there it says hello world. You see there?
Yes. Yes.
You see it says hello world?
Yes. That's it. Right here.
Uh-huh. It's saying hello world because on line 2, you go to line 2, you see
Mm-hmm.
line 2, we
Yeah.
are telling
Right.
it to line 2 to the far end, we're telling it to print hello world. Now, I want you
Okay.
to write your name there. You highlighted it, right? Right now, write your name
Mm-hmm.
there. And then put another closing quotation. Okay, run it again.
Oh,
You
okay.
see what it says now?
So it says my name now.
Says your name, right? So now you see that the black part here that is your name on,
Mm-hmm.
that is called the actuator.
It's called what?
The actuator.
Whoever.
Actuator. What is it? This is where you get your responses.
Can you spell it? I think I'm missing the acute waiter or
Yeah,
can you hear me?
yeah, I can. I posted it in the chat already.
Okay. Here. Oh, acute actor.
Yeah, it's actuator. I don't know if I
Okay.
spelled it correct, but it's something like that. We
Okay,
don't
something
need
like that.
we don't need to know the
Okay.
spelling.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Okay.
so it's called the
Okay.
actuator. So the actuator is going to be showing you your results of whatever we compile.
Okay.
Do I make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
The results of anything that we are going to compile is going to be shown in the actuator, right?
Okay.
We're good?
So let me if I rephrase what you just said. So
Mhm.
here is more like you impute whatever you want the actuator to output, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you type here, the actuator will give you the actuator will give you the result.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
got it.
that's about. And then you see where you wrote alufuasho, alua
Mm-hmm.
fusho. Yeah, that
Right.
part. That's the part where you write your code.
Okay.
So that part here is the part for you to write your code. So
Okay.
that's where we're going to be writing all the code that we're writing there.
Okay.
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Then the left side, you see where it says idea, output,
Mm-hmm.
SRC.
Yeah.
Yes. So
All
there,
these are all these are under idea. Know what
yes.
that
Okay.
is.
Can you minimize idea?
Okay.
Minimize out. So that is where your files are going to be stored.
Okay.
And most of our work we're going to do on the one that says SRC.
Okay.
See the one that says SRC?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one you focus on. Now, make it big. You see, that's where this class is right now. Main, it's inside SRC. You see that?
Yes, I see it now.
So now if I
Okay.
say create another class called food, what you are going to do is go to SRC. No, open it.
Okay.
Go to the actual folder. Go to the folder.
Fold.
No. Go to where it says SRC.
Okay.
Right click,
Right
right
click.
click, right, new
Okay.
Java class. And can you type food in there with the capital F?
Code.
Food
Food. Okay. Food.
with capital F. It shouldn't be capitalized all through. The first letter is capitalized. Okay.
Yes.
And then press enter. Click on the class.
Yeah.
On class. Right thing.
Okay. Double click or
Hey, double click.
okay.
You see, you've created another class called food.
That makes sense. So we have earlier we have the public class main. Now we have the public class food.
Yes. And all these classes belong to the source, right? SRC. SRC
Yeah.
stands for source code.
Okay. Source code. Okay.
So right now, you see where it says lesson 1?
Yes.
And you see the small things that are saying C, user, Olua, idea, project. You see that?
Yes. Yes.
That is
Perfectly. I
called your
see it.
file path.
Your file path.
Yes, that's where this code is stored in your computer.
Okay.
So right now, let's go to files. Open files on your computer. No, not there. No, not in
there.
IntelliJ. Not in IntelliJ.
Okay.
Just go to your computer and open files.
Right.
It says, yeah, click there. Click on where it says home. No, on the line, the file path bar.
Right.
Yeah, click on the side. Go back to your IntelliJ. You're going to come back here again. Go back to IntelliJ. Go to lesson 1. Right click. Right click. Go, it says copy path. Copy. No, do it again. Copy path. No, down. The one below. Click on that. And the one on top, copy absolute path. That one. Click
Okay.
on it.
Copy absolute path. Okay.
Click on it. Now go back to where you were in the files. On the paste there. Press enter.
Okay.
You see? Go inside SRC. You see?
Interesting.
So this is where your computer is. Your files are stored inside your computer.
This makes sense. So this is called, I want to go back to this again. So this is called your file path, right?
Yes, that's the path where your files are located, where you are writing this code.
Okay, got it. Source is just where is
the folder.
Source is where
Source is
the
the
folder
folder.
and your main is.
Yes,
a
it's
folder.
the folder that is a folder that you are going to be writing inside, because that's
Okay,
where
so
you
it's
write your
folder.
source code.
Okay.
The one that is up there, the one that says out, right? That one. Make it big. So here, that's where people write the test. So whenever you write code, you need to write a test for it.
Okay.
So orange is for test.
To test it out.
To test what you have written. So this is like a lesson, like months late. On writing tests. Right now we're just learning code. So close that one out, the out one. Okay, so now we are ready to go. Wow, this has been the first test I've ever needed to go into the lessons, by the way. An hour, 30 minutes. You just broke the record, my guy. Usually I take
broke record. Are you serious?
Yeah, usually the first lesson we don't even get to the code because the person is like, they get carried away on, like, the IntelliJ.
The reason is
Show me this thing.
I will open up to you now. The reason is I have a lot of friends that they've been disturbing me all this while to learn, but they're into Java and Python. So I hear all these things. Some of them I've heard some of these stuff. So it's easier for me. I guess that's why it's easier for me to move a little faster with you.
Yeah, your friends, you are going to, when you are now talking to them, they're gonna be like, wow, this guy.
Yeah.
Because I always say this, if somebody comes to me and says I am a Python programmer, and somebody comes to me and say I'm a Java programmer, I will always respect the Java programmer because he can easily learn Python. but you can't
That's
do it the
correct.
other way around. Right now, you'll
Yes.
see, if I teach you this, for you to learn Python should take you like 4 days tops.
4 days.
Yeah, because you now understand the hard. So the hard things of Python is what you start with in Java.
Wow.
So Python starts
Um,
out easy. They're very easy when you're
that's
starting
why
out.
I guess
Mm.
that's why there's a lot of Java jobs out there, I guess, than
Yep.
Python.
Okay. So now let's start. We're now going to jump into our lesson plan. Do
Okay.
you have any questions? So now I want you to tell me again what you have learned today so far in this 1 hour, 37 minutes.
Okay, you want me to go back from everything you asked me or just the
Yeah, just tell
recent
me from
ones?
your head without reading anything. What is the things that you've learned?
Okay. Okay. So far I learned about IntelliJ, which is more like an environment where our codes are being programmed. Is an IDE where our codes are being programmed on the computer. So, however, we have what is called the JDK that helps in JDK is like is the kit that helps to translate that programming language that we're writing on the computer. And with the help of the JVM, um, which helps in compiling this code on, on the system. So far, so good. Um, that's for IntelliJ. And another thing I learned is I learned what IDE stands for, which is Integrated Development Environment. That's what IDE stands for. Then we went further to learn about the lesson one and also the file, which is where the file part, I guess that's what you said, where we store our files and information. And we also learn about SRC, which is the source, more like a source code, um, which is what we wrote the food and the main in. So far, so good. I think that's what I remembered.
Okay,
And then you, of
that's
course,
a
you showed me the input and the outputs where we type and comes out to the Aku something, Aku Aquator. Yep.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's very, very good. I like that. Okay, now we're jumping into the fun part now.
Can I get water before we jump to the next one?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just take like a 10, 15 minutes to stretch out because it's gonna be we still have like 2 more hours.
Okay.
So
10,
I
15. I'll be
expect to
back in
see you at
15 minutes.
10:45.
10:45. All right.
You're back early. Hello? I see you're back early.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we still have like about 4 minutes, so let's take the 4 minutes.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay.
All right. Okie dokie. Looks like I'm back. Are you there? You ready?
Yep, I'm back.
Okay. All right. Can you see him?
Yep, loud and clear. Mm. So I put on something on the stove, so I have to be checking it every.
Okay. You're the cook in the house.
I know, man. Mm. Okay. I have an echo. Did we change anything?
No. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
it's fine now. So go to the main class.
Mm,
Mm. So another thing, yeah, click on it.
hmm. So I gotta do it twice.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
We're now in the main class, right?
Right.
Uh, so
Oh, so if I want to go to the food class, I'll just do this, right? Okay. Main class. Okay, get it.
let's talk about you at work, working for a company. Uh,
Mhm.
that means your projects. You see where you have main class, you can have like 40 classes there. Mm.
Mm. You say we have what?
Where it says main class, you can have like 40 classes there.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
You can have like 40 classes there because that's how the coding works, right? Sometimes 40,
Okay.
sometimes 100, just a lot of classes.
Okay.
Yeah, just a lot of classes there, so that's good. So now, just like driving a car, there are rules, right? There are rules, and
Mhm.
just like writing the code, there are also rules that you need to follow,
Okay.
right? There are also rules that you need to follow. And in this case, I'm gonna give you the number of rules that you have to follow when you are writing code.
Okay.
So everything you see here, number one, public is called an access modifier. This is where you need to start taking notes.
Okay. So you say what is called access modifier again?
Public is called an access modifier.
Public is called access modifier.
Yes.
Okay.
Then class is telling Java that this is a class. It's called a class keyword.
Class is doing what?
Class is basically allocating what you are working on as a class. I'll explain on the later lessons what a class is.
Okay, so it's allocating what you're working on.
Yes, it's telling you that this is a class. Everything that you are going to write belongs to this class. Mhm.
Okay, I'll tell you everything. Okay.
And then main is just the name of the class.
Okay. So main. Choose the name.
Mm. So your class can be called so many things. You can call it main, you can call it Oluwafo, you can call it food, you can just call it anything you want.
Okay. So main is the name of the class.
Yes,
Okay. So
right.
class is basically what you're locating on, and the main is the name of the class.
Yes, think about
Okay.
this. Public is like telling you if you can access it or not. Then class
Okay.
is the keyword we use, like think of class like address, right? Then
Okay.
main becomes like the address number, right?
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
So that was
So
why. So that means that being said, the main. Let me go here. Food. So okay. So that's changeable, right? Like you can change the public class stays static, right? The food and the main are the one that you can possibly change.
yes, because it's just the name.
Um, Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So public just access modifier.
Yes.
Okay. So so explain further, what does the public do? Is is it, when you say access modifier, can you explain a little bit, a good explanation? So it'd be an access modifier, like it gives the,
Access
is that does it
modifier.
give you access to
So
what you're writing?
uh, so you see public, right? Just public basically tells the house that you're staying in that, hey, this house is a public house. That means anyone can have access to this house. They can come in. What do I mean by that? Right, everything you write right now in the page that we're looking at belongs to this house, right? The main house, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Yeah, I got it.
It
Yeah.
belongs to the main house, right? So,
Okay.
so that we know where what belongs to what. The name of your class that is public in a file should be the same as the name of the folder. What do I mean by that? Do you notice on number one, on line one, right?
Mm-hmm.
We say public class main, right?
Right.
And do you notice on top there it says main.java?
Yes.
That's the name of the file. So the name of the file and the name of the class that is public are the same.
Okay. So
And
the
that
name of the file is main.java.
mhm,
I also notice it. Oh, okay. So it's a file. I see it showing there, right there. Okay.
yeah,
And this is your file. Do we have food here? So this one will be the food file.
yes, food.java is a file. And the first class you see in that one, go to food, it says public class food. You see that?
Right.
You see that? So the name of
I
the
see it.
public class, the name of the public class and the name of the file that is in are the same. So what do I mean by that? You cannot have two public classes inside here at the same time. Right? What do I mean by that?
Okay.
Go to line 3. Go to line 3. Enter. Yeah. Write public class it. And the public starts with so all the keywords in Java, if no, most of the keywords in Java, they all are lower cases. And if you see the color of that, they are orange, right? Is that orange?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Orange means they come with Java. They are keywords that are protected in Java. What do I mean by
So
that?
those
I
words are
mean that
protected.
those are words from Java. You can't create a class called public because the computer will get confused. You can't create a class called
Okay.
class. You can't say public class, right? Because the computer will be confused. Why? Because those are keywords in Java.
Okay.
So when you say public, Java knows what that means. If you say class, Java knows what that means. So now I just want you to copy exactly as you see on top, but then give it the name food. Go ahead, write that. So you see it auto completes for you, like that. Press tab.
Yeah.
So for you to auto complete, you just press tab, right? Public class. Okay, now cancel, delete class. Start to write it again. CL. Press tab.
10.
Tab. You know tab, the one that is on top of caps lock.
Oh.
Did you see that?
Okay. Okay.
So that it's easier for you, right? Now, write public
Gotcha. They
class.
make it go. Okay.
It and all classes. The names of classes start with the capital letter. That's the another rule. And then to show where the class starts and where the class ends, you use what are known as curly braces. Those are the ones that you see. So a curly brace is like, hey, those ones. Press enter. So those curly braces basically say that that class that you wrote, it starts from line 4 ending on line 6. So the curly braces tell us where the class starts and where the class ends.
Okay.
That is what we use in Java when we are trying to show where a class starts or where a class ends.
Okay.
Are you with me?
I'm still with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you realize that you have an error? Because
Mhm.
of the keyword public, because you can't have two public classes at the same place. The computer gets
Ah,
confused because the public class should be the same as the file name.
yeah.
Do I make sense?
Yeah. So it's supposed to be the same as the file name.
Yes.
Since the file name is food.java, right?
Yes, the file name is food.java. So if you have a class that is public in here, your class should be the same as the name of the file. But
Gotcha.
now,
That
can you
makes
just
sense.
delete the word public on line 4? Look at that, the error is gone.
Ah,
So
okay.
having a class it like that, right?
Mhm.
It's just the same as going there on source and creating another class and writing it.
Okay.
You get it?
So you said if creating a class.
I'm saying having a class that you see here called it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Down there on line 4. It's just the same as going
Right.
on, go to source SRC. Goes to
SRC.
SRC, yeah, to the source
SRC
file.
is the source code, right?
Yeah, source code.
Right.
Right click, new
Yeah.
Java class, call it sleep.
What? Call it what?
Just call it sleep.
Sleep. Okay.
Mm. And now you see that class called sleep there that you created.
Mm-hmm.
It says public,
Mm-hmm.
and you see what the name of the file?
So now it's the same.
Yes. So now it and sleep are just the same, even though they are in two different places. Why? Because Java knows that sleep starts from line 1 ending at line 2. So if you create another class on line 3, it's just the same as just creating another file and putting that class in there.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
can
now
create multiple
exactly. That's what I wanted you to come
files.
to. Yes, you can have multiple classes in one file. But
Okay. This is one
oh,
file. Okay.
yep. Okay, now let's go to the main. Let's go to your main. Right. So now, for you to write code, you should always
Mm-hmm.
have a class. You cannot write code
Okay.
outside of a class in Java.
Okay.
So the word public is an access modifier. What does public mean? Public says that I can go to food, and still have a way when I'm here to access information inside the main class. Why? Because I made it public. That's
So I
why
can
we
be here
said
in the
it's,
food file and I can still access mail file
yes,
from the food file.
yes, yes. That is why it's public. It's called an access modifier.
Okay. Got it.
That's why I was calling it an access modifier. Now you understand that, right?
Yeah, I got it now. So
Yeah,
it
and
gives you
then
access to different files.
Think about it.
Since
To write code, we're gonna write code in different files, but we would want all those files to talk to each other, right?
Mhm.
And Publix makes them to talk to each other. And we'll learn that on classes ahead on how those guys talk to each other.
Okay.
Now let's go back to the main class. So what is a class? A class is basically like a blueprint, right? It's like a house plan, right?
Mhm.
When I'm talking about class, I'm talking about a house, right? And you choose, if you want your house to be accessed by other people, we can make the house public. If we don't want, we can make the house private, right?
Okay.
So now, for us to know that this is a house, we have to use the keyword class before we give it a name,
True.
right?
Okay.
Right? Yes. And for the name starts with the capital letter because it shows that it's a class. And most of the things in Java start with small letters because Java is sensitive in terms of letter. So the name Oluwafusho in capital letter and Oluwafusho in small letters, there are two different names.
Okay.
That's how the computer understands. Why? It goes back to the
So
binary
so
code. Capital A and small letter A are two different things.
mm,
Okay.
okay.
Now, so inside your house, this
Mhm.
thing called public static void main
Mhm.
that you see here, line 2, is
Okay.
called a method.
A method.
Yes. For now, next lesson I'll explain everything inside this, but it's called a method, right?
Mhm.
And this method is a method that Java gave you to use when you're writing code,
Okay.
right? So
So Java gave you that method to
yes,
you to write the code.
yes,
Okay.
because when you're writing code, you can't just write code in the house, right? You can't have a house and I say a sleep anywhere. The house has to have like a room to sleep, right?
Right.
So a method is a room,
Mhm.
and writing code
Okay.
is sleeping, right? So in this case,
Mm.
you have a house, you have a room, and then you can sleep. So what do I mean by that? I mean, you want to have a class, and
Mhm.
after a class, you have a method. And inside that method, that's where we write our code. So we write our code inside methods in Java.
Got it. So public static void main is your method.
That's
Why
a
the
method.
class
And methods, the names of methods are always in small letter.
yeah, I noticed that. Why the
Yes,
public class the main one is as a uppercase M.
yes. So now the rule says the names of classes are in capital letters. The names of methods are in small letters,
Okay.
right? So this method here that you see here is just a method that Java gave you. So you're going to be using this method a lot because you cannot write code inside, just outside. You have to be inside a method to write code,
Okay.
right? So if
So
I
the
say,
public static
whenever I give you this will happen all the time, even today. Whenever I say create a class code this, right? That means you go to the source, you create that class, and then I'll tell you to create a variable called this. That means by default, I'm telling you to write this public static void main method and then write whatever I tell you inside that.
okay.
You get
So
what I mean?
the source is where you write the
The source is where you create where you're going to be creating the code, the classes that I
okay.
tell you. and your class should always start the capital letter. And inside that class, you have a public static void main method. This is just a method for you to write code inside, just like a room, like a bathroom.
Okay, got it.
We're still together, eh? I haven't lost you
Yes.
yet. Now
Not yet.
go to line 1. And on that curly brace, can you click on the curly brace? Do you see where it shows you? It shows you where it starts and shows you where it ends. Do you see that?
I noticed that. Yeah.
Yes. So that means anything that you write belongs to this class.
Um, it's inside the class.
Exactly. So
So
that
so the
so
public
the
statics void is like you said, is the method, more like the room.
yes, that is inside the class. That is main.
Okay.
I assume I'm
Okay.
making sense.
It's making sense.
Yes. So now what I want you to take away from this today is you always have a class. And if the class is public, like public class, and then that means the name of the file should match that. But whenever you create the code, the class using SRC, it automatically does it for you.
Okay. So the name
And
of the
then,
file should match the name of the class.
yes, the name of the public class. Why is that important? Because when we go to food and we're trying to access main, we're going to use the name of the class. And we're going to get access to this file through the name. That's why it's called an access modifier.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay.
We're still making good sense?
Yeah, it's still making sense.
Okay. Now, the public static void main is a method that Java gives you so that you write code inside. Right? Mhm.
Okay.
Now, system.out.println, that's another method that Java gives you to print things out on the console. What do I mean by that? System.out.println just prints things. Its job is just to print things.
And Java give it to you. So Java also give you the static, like um the room, right? The public static
Yes,
void
Java
main.
gave us that room, but in the future, we're going to be writing our own rooms, right?
Mhm.
But then there are things that Java gives you to make your programming easy. For example, system.out.println. That's just a Java method to print things in the console.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? You see where it says Oluwafusho?
Mhm.
We told it to print it because when Java was reading this code, it got to line 3. Line 3 basically says, hey, can you print this thing onto the thing below here? And then it printed it out.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm. So
We're making,
his job is just to print, more like an output, to print it out
yes,
whatever information from
yes.
the
So
public status void main, right? Print it
yes,
out
yes, yes,
to,
yes.
okay.
So now we're starting to jump into the lesson now. We've jumped already, we're in the lesson, but you now have an idea. Can you tell me in your own words, what is a class, what is a method, and what is this thing system out on println in your own words? What would you say?
Okay. So in my word, a class is basically the what kind of other word can I use for a class? Class is the section of what you want to, like a section or area of focus. That should be a class of whatever code um you're trying to name. So it should be like a section or area, particular area. There should be a class. I don't know if that makes sense.
I say that again.
Okay. So the class is the what you're trying to write something about a particular stuff. So class will help you to identify, oh, this belongs to this area or this specific um, section is what you're trying to write. So class will help you to state that, so that whoever that comes there will understand, okay, for instance, we're in class A, or we're in class B, or we're in class D, or class F. So that's what the class will help you to state, so you know which of the class are you in or you belong to. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yep. Yep. That makes sense. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Like you explained, you said the public stake void is just the computer gives you that. Um, it's more like is a room where you write the code, you put the code in, and the system outprint will help you to print it out. Basically,
Okay, that's good.
is that what we're doing?
Yes. Nice. Okay. Now, uh, so we are going to talk about Java comments. Right? To comment out something in Java, there are two types of comment. There is a line comment. Yes. There's a line comment, and there is a multi-line comment. Right. So a problem that we
comment
are
have
having
two
here is
types.
that I'm saying the problem that I'm
So we have
having here is that I wish I had a way to take over a screen.
yeah, I used to think that Zoom can give mouse away. I don't know. Let's see. Let me check this stuff.
Nah, it's okay. I think you have to pay for it.
There's a software, right, that my friend used to use when I go to his house. This maybe later we can download that. It's called Jump Desktop. I don't know if you've heard of it. So what that does is it's free. It gives you ability to control my mouse. So with that, I can see what you're doing.
Yeah. We're still finding.
Yeah. So
So
that's yeah, we can do that maybe later. I don't know. That will help.
okay.
Maybe if you want to show me something on the
Okay.
system, you
So
can just move my mouse and say this is what I'm saying.
so
Yeah.
okay, that's fine. So for
So
now, I'm going to share my screen.
okay, so I should stop sharing.
Yes.
Okay, stop sharing.
Okay, I'll share my screen in a second. Okay. So in that case, you
Hello.
get to press
The last what word you said is comment has two type, line comment and what? I lost the other one.
and multi-line comment.
The multi.
There's line comment and multi-line comment.
To line comment. Okay,
Zoom.
got it.
Okay, I wanna share this one. Okay. Let's go. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Can you see some of how many of these projects I've written?
Wow.
A lot. So whenever I start a project, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes. So you go to new, right? And this is Olua L1, lesson 1, in case you'd ever want me to send you these things. Okay, I'll go there and I'll create it.
Mhm. Mm, I can't see your screen.
Yeah, it stopped sharing. These people, they need to update this thing, man.
Is it a Zoom?
Yeah, yeah, it's Olua lesson 1. Okay, it should be back now.
Okay, got it.
You can see,
Perfectly.
right? Okay, so like we have idea and I have this source file, right? I'm gonna say
Mhm.
new. Where is my new Java class? Okay, and we're going to call it food, like that. Not reading my main class. Don't worry about this. You learn one day. Let's say
Showing
Olua
Java
up.
15.
Yeah,
It's showing Java 15 somewhere.
yeah. It's there's not much of a difference. Olua up. I wanna apply, and then okay. Okay, this should change. How? Yeah. Okay. Nice. So this is my class. As you can see, this is my main class, right?
Right.
And if I want to run the class, I will just click this thing here to run it. Or if I want to run this method, I click this thing here to run it. Or if I want to run it, I click this other thing here. You see, I have 3 options of running.
Okay.
Run by here, run by here, and run by here. Right?
On line
Are you?
4.
Yes.
On
Line
line 4,
4.
it says public class food. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the main class, right?
Yes. I told you the name main is just a.
Just a name.
Yeah, it's just a name. You
No
can
more
call it
class.
whatever you want. Mm.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just wanted
Yes.
to call it that. Okay.
Yeah, but but then this method is called exactly like this. Public static void main. That's the name of this method. This method allows us to write code. Right now, if I'm to write code, I write code inside here,
Okay.
inside that main method. But its job is to make it easier for me to write the code, right? Because without the main method, let me give you an example. Let me take it out. Without the main method, this is all I have, right?
Mhm.
Now, what I would need to do to write code is I'll need to create my own method, right? So I can say, I can create a method and I can call it public. I'll show you steps by steps on how to create a method. This is just an example, right? So don't stress yourself about it. So I'll call it
Okay.
like public integer age, just like that, right? Then I'll just return like two, you know. So this is like an example that this is an example of a method that you have to write for yourself, right? So for you to not go through and do all this, Java says, hey, when you're just writing things, you can use the public static void main method. But there's a shortcut to it. You write PSVM, you see that?
And that
And
means
then you,
public static void method main.
yeah, yes, and then you press tab. Look at that.
Oh wow.
Let's write that
Nice.
methods for you, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Do we understand everything that you're seeing right now?
Yes, I do. So I
Okay.
understand that the public static void is where you write your code. It makes your code easier
Yes,
to
it's
run.
a method that we get from Java, right? Okay, now today's topic is gonna be two things. Um, we're going to look at variables and we're going to look at comments. That's what we're looking at today, right?
Okay.
Variables, comments. Let me look at the syllabus. Yes, variables and comment. And tomorrow we're gonna do data types, casting, and operations. But then today we'll just do comments
Variables.
and variables, right?
Okay.
And play around with them. The fun
Okay.
is beginning. So for now, I want you to just focus on what I'm saying. And then in about 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to ask you to share your screen and then you do exactly as I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly.
Now, so if I want to write something that is not going to be printed, right? This is what you do. You put two, uh, you put two of these demarcations. You see that?
I see it. Yeah.
So if I say alpha is hungry, alpha is happy, right? You see, this becomes a comment.
Okay.
This becomes a comment. When I go ahead and run this class, nothing gets printed here.
Okay.
Why? Because a comment basically when the computer gets to line 9, those two lines just say, hey, skip this thing. They are not supposed to print it.
Ah.
Mhm,
So you are talking to the computer
mhm.
to ignore line 9.
Yes, 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 yes.
Got it.
And you see here, there's nothing that was printed. You see that?
But we'll take off that. So you take off those two slashes. Will it print?
If I take off the two slashes, it will give me an error because the computer doesn't know what this is.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Right. So if you put it like that, right. Now let's assume I'm writing alpha is happy like so many lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. And you have two options. You do this. What did I do? I highlighted everything, then I pressed control back back what was it backward? This thing that slides backward. You see this backpack?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That one. You can also do it quickly by pressing Control.
Okay.
And
So you're
backslash.
pressing it and it's
Yeah, I just press Control backslash. It automatically clears it. Right. To remove it, still Control back. But then there's another way. There's another way that you do it.
you can copy it, right? Copy one line if you're gonna write the same thing to the other
Yeah,
lines. You
yeah. I'm
can.
saying like to comment it out. So
Mm-hmm.
you can do backslash this guy, and then you come here and do the same guy. The asterisk, it's auto completed. You see, now this is called a multi-line comment. So here you'll be commenting code that is on so many different lines.
Okay, the one from line 9 to 12 is called the multi-line comment.
Yeah, from line 9 to 14. So
Okay. Line
that
9 to
means
14. Okay.
if I run this still the same, the computer is not going to print anything because I'm telling it to ignore.
Got it.
So, but then you're going to be using a lot of line comments. Why? Because sometimes I'll need you to write things. Like I can ask you a question like, what is a class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for you to give me the answer of what is a class, you would have to make it a comment and come here and say what is a class. And then you tell me a class is like a house where we need to create a room that we will sleep in. You see?
Okay,
So
there's a
that I
line.
can
Line.
also come and read. And this is a line comment. And people do this so that they help other developers. Sometimes you have code, but you want to explain what it is, you know?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You can make a line to explain exactly what your code is.
So if that line is gonna be like 2, 3 lines, then it turns into like multi-line comment. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So if you want to make it multi-line, you can do it this way, or remember the way we did it earlier, or this way. That. Then you just like that, you see? And it's now a multi-line format.
Okay. Mm,
Do I make sense?
yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to make sure that line. Okay. So the asterisk is from the start is in front and is backward and front. Okay. Got it.
Okay, good.
Got it. All right.
Okay. Now we're done with comments. We're now going on to the fun part. The part we've been doing is not the fun part. We're now
Is it the
going to
boring
the,
part?
yeah, that's the boring part. Setting up is boring. But you can't really work without setting up, you know. Okay, now we're looking at Java variables, right? So can you go ahead and tell me everything that we have learned so far in your own words?
Okay. So Um, I'll start with a recent one that you just that you want me to start over.
No, yeah, just go ahead with repeat what I just said, the recent one on my own, in my
Okay.
own, in your own
Okay.
words.
So we're diving down into the variables and the comment. So you started with a comment saying we can have two different kind of comments, which is line comment. From understanding, I think line comment means probably a single line of statement, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But when it stretches into 3, 4 lines, then it turns into a multi comment. And they have different lines of identifying them. So the line comments, you can use a slash, 2 slashes, and the multi comments, you use the asterisks to open and the close, which will shows the computer is a multi-comment. So now, if you do both in that ways, when it display, those comments should not display on the RQ quieter. It should not display.
Mm-hmm.
That means you did it right. So far, that's what you've explained about comment.
Yep. Okay. That's
I
good.
don't know if that makes sense. Okay.
Makes sense. Uh, eh, I'm just gonna pause here a little bit, and give you, 4 minutes to express yourself. How are you feeling so far with everything? etc. Before we jump into variables.
I'm feeling positive. You're able to break down most of what, like I said, some of this stuff I've heard it. I don't understand. I've never tried it on the system, and you explain it makes so much sense from the source code to the public class and the public start void main. It's gonna take me a while to get used to those names. Maybe back to back, I guess, if I keep saying it and doing some work on it, maybe it's gonna come easier. But other than that, I'm following so far, which is positive. Yeah.
Okay. That's good news. It's always nice to see that you are following. And if you get lost, let me know. Now,
Sure.
so now, uh, when we say programming is a language, right? When we
Yeah.
say Java is a programming language, uh, for example, you can speak Pigeon, right?
Pidgin, yes, yes. We have
Yes,
a Nigerian language, Pidgin. Yeah.
yes. So in Pigeon, there are things that you do when you're talking, right? There are words that you say, right? And the words have meaning. So Java is the
Yes.
same thing, right? But now as a language, uh, one of the most exciting things about Java as a language is that number one, to learn a language, you first need to learn letters, right? A, B, C, D, right?
Hmm.
A, B, C, D up to Z. So that's
Right.
what variables are. Variables are the A, B, C, D of a language.
Okay. Okay, so you
Yes,
have a language, then variable simply means each of those letters.
exactly. Variables are
Got
the
it.
letters. In this example of a house, variables are the furniture, you know.
Okay.
So for us to create a room, we need to have furniture. And today
No,
we're
you
going to
broke.
learn.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part. You said
I
want to
said
create a room. You do what?
for us to, the main reason why we create a room is so that we can put furniture inside, right?
Right.
And the furniture we're putting here is what we are calling variables, right? So there are different types of variables in Java. And the way Java deals with variables is different.
Okay.
Java is so lazy in the sense that you actually have to tell the computer what exactly the variable is, right? So there are different types of variables. Number
Okay.
one, we have the string, right?
Okay.
So string basically means like a word or a sentence. And we say it by having the result in quotation marks like this. You see that?
Okay. So a word or sentence, and we see it. We're having the result in okay quotations. Okay.
Yes.
So the quotation is what will shows. Okay. So it's what will show the output. Correct.
Yes, it will show us the type of the variable, right?
Okay.
Now, for example, the syntax, by syntax, I mean the rules of writing a variable. You want to follow these three things, right? Number one, you say what type of variable it is. Then number two, you follow by variable name. That starts with a small letter. Then three, you put the equal sign. How to even tell sign? English is like my fourth language.
We all do.
Yep, you
We all
just
do
put the equal
struggle with
sign.
that. Mm.
Like, and the variable value for number four, you put the variable sign, variable result. Okay, so what do I mean by that? A string is a keyword, right? So it's a variable type. So for it to create a variable type string, you start with capital S, right?
Okay. Okay.
And then you say tab, so that you write string, and then you give this guy a name. We just call it name. Is equals to the quotation, then we say alpha, and then we close with the semicolon.
So you got string name equals to alpha. You put the equal to before.
So,
Okay, get it.
so
So the
this
small
is
letter is the name, right?
the name, yes, of the variable.
Okay.
So if somebody comes to read this, this is a variable of type string. How do you know it's a string? Because of two things. Number one, it starts with it tells us, you see how easy Java is? It tells us what it is. It's a string. And then you
Okay.
give the name of the variable. This is called the variable name, right? I call it name. And this is the name. I put it inside as alpha. And to show, because for all the strings, you have to have the quotation mark. If I remove the quotation marks, this is what happens. Look,
It gives error.
it gives error, right? Why?
Mhm.
Because the string should always have a quotation mark.
Quotation.
So we come, usually for me, I come here, then I put shift quotation marks, and then it puts the quotation marks. And every
So
variable should end.
the alpha should start with a capital A too, right?
No, a string doesn't matter. This can be this.
Okay, got it.
It still works as long as it's inside the the colon, the quotation marks. You see that? And everything in Java, every variable in Java should always end with a semicolon. That's how we end a statement in Java. So when the computer reads line 13, when it gets to the semicolon, it knows that I'm done with this thing.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Got it.
Makes sense.
So you said you have the string, so you have variable. Variable is basically letters. They're like letters that make up sentences. So a type of
Yes. So
that variable is the strings, right?
yes. And I look at variables like a container. In this case, we're just creating a container code name and putting this thing inside.
Got it.
So that we can use this thing in our code later on.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So a
It's making
string.
sense so far.
Hmm?
Yeah, go ahead.
So a string. So for this is literally for all variables. The thing is gonna look the same like that. We put the name, the type of variable, the name of the variable, and then what we want the variable to be, which is like the variable value, and then we close that with a semicolon, right?
So most times the string name can change, right?
Yes.
I was, yeah, you can say string,
So
string
here,
color or string David or string, whatever. You can just change the name, right? Is that correct?
yeah, we can call it David. You can call this CHD. Doesn't
Okay.
matter. You can call it.
Okay.
You can call it Jollof.
Okay. So that
You
still
can,
forms the string name, correct?
yes, this is just the variable name. Why do we have this? So that when we want to get to use Jollof, if you want to use this value, right, Rita, want to use this Rita value inside our code somewhere, instead of always writing Rita, I just use the Jollof, right? Because, for example, let me show you this, right? This is system printout. Remember the one that you saw in the beginning?
Yes,
And I
yes,
said,
yes.
this is just a method of printing out to the console, right? Inside
Right.
here, if I tell it to print out Jollof, right? And Jollof is just the name of this variable here, right? You see that? I'm asking it to print
Yeah.
Jollof. If I run
All right.
this, it's not gonna print the word Jollof. It's going to print Okay, just a second. You see what it printed?
Yeah, I print the other one. You print the result.
Yes, this
Got
one, the
it.
value.
The
So
variable
this
result.
helps us
Yeah.
this to be able to call this by name, right?
Okay.
So that
So
in
what
my
just
code,
happened is the string jollof should print. The system should print out the string jollof as Rita.
yes. Why? Because Rita is the value. This is just the name of the variable. It's not the value of the variable. It's just the name.
So
So
value is
because
what will be printed, correct?
exactly. So
Got it, got it,
whenever you are creating variables, we use the variable name to actually call that variable.
okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Am I making a little bit of sense?
Yes, yes. Yeah. I'm not confused yet. I'm still going. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. So exactly that is how it is. We create the variable and we give the name so that we can use this variable. And when we're using this variable, we can just use it by name and it gives us the value. It makes our life so easy.
Makes sense.
Make sense? Okay.
Yes.
So if I tell you now to create a variable code name of type string, and you put the name or your name inside, can you do that? Can you share a screen and do that?
Okay. So here's my okay, let me share my screen here. Entire screen. All right. So here's my IntelliJ. Can you see? Can you see my screen?
No, not yet. Let me stop sharing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see yes.
Okay. So what's the question again?
Can you create a variable called name and put your name inside? So now what's happening is you are writing your code outside the house. That's why you have errors. Remember what I said?
It has to be inside here.
Exactly. So can you comment out line 3?
Let's take it out.
Comment it.
Comment.
Mhm.
Okay.
Can you highlight it? No, I said line 3. The one that says system out.
Yeah.
That's the one. At the beginning of line 3. Line 3. Like go to line 4 up before system.
Before system.
Yes,
Okay.
right. Uh,
Right there.
yeah. Then comment it out with those dashes. You see, it's commented out now. Now go to line 4 and write the code.
Okay. Why am I commenting line 3? What's
So that we don't need it right now.
Okay, so that's just to say, okay, we're just practicing or what?
No, commenting is like if there's something you don't need in the code, and you wanna just
Okay.
yeah,
Run
that's what you're
something
doing.
without it showing that. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay,
exactly. Yeah.
okay. So now you said ask your question again, then see if I can get it. You said I should do what?
Create a variable of type string
Mhm.
with the variable name code name, and you put your name to it.
Okay. Someone I was that.
No, you're fine. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But can you create a space between name and equal? Okay, that's better.
You said pull.
Yeah, how did I say we end the variables?
And it. You close the quote, right?
Yes, every variable or statement ends with a semicolon.
Yeah, but I have both here. See.
At the end, after the colon, you see after the right there where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Can you click there? Click on that thing, the red thing. Click on it. Click.
Right click, huh?
Just hover there. It will tell you what is wrong. It did tell you last time. You
Variable
see?
name is never used.
No. Go up. The one that is red is the one that is wrong, right? Come back to where you were.
Okay.
Expected semicolon where? Line 4. You see that?
Okay.
So go put a semicolon on
Expected.
line 4.
Uh,
The semicolon comes after the colon. There, put a semicolon.
what was the semicolon again? This one?
No, that's exclamation mark. Um, do you see what you have in line 3 at the end?
Yes. Oh, that right there.
Exactly. That's a
So
semicolon.
anytime I do, oh, that's the one I missed. So anytime I do a string name, I have to put that
No,
semicolon.
anytime you write a statement in Java,
A statement.
it needs to
Okay.
have a semicolon. Mhm.
Okay.
Like here, you are what you're doing right now. You are declaring a variable of type string, and you are putting the value Oluwafusho, right?
Yes.
Now let's print it out in the console. Say enter, enter, enter again. Say SOUT. Type SOUT. T, and then tab. You see that? It tries that method for you. And we're printing out name. So the no. Why are you writing the
No.
name? You have to print the variable name, not the name of the value. What's your
No.
variable name?
That means I have to change his name.
No. That's what you wanna print out, right?
So what's my variable name?
Uh, remember, did you write notes when I was telling you how to create a variable?
Yeah, I was just following your explanation that a variable, under the variable you have a strings, and we're
Yes.
doing the string names.
Yes, I'm
You have the
saying
string
that.
name.
So I say to create a variable, right? To create a variable, you need the type of variable, you need the variable name, the equal sign, the value that you gave it, and the semicolon at the end, right?
Right.
So now we're trying to print out the variable using the variable name. So what is your variable name? Looking at line 4, which one is your variable name? Like when you look at line 4, which one do
Oh,
you
yeah.
call?
Yeah. String.
Right. So write
String.
the word,
String
write the word,
is your variable name.
yeah, write the word name down. Write name there. No, 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 no. String is a variable type. What is
Type.
after
Okay.
string?
The name is after string. Name.
Yes, and name is just the name of your variable, right?
Yes.
That's what we want to print out. So write that. And you see, when you wrote it, you see it's changed from this one to white.
I change to yellow.
You see, like
In the bracket.
yeah, the brackets changed to yellow, but okay, remove the name inside there and write it again. You see, look at line 4. You see line 4?
Okay.
Write
Right.
name
Right.
again. You see what
Okay.
happens to line 4? So that means that you are using this code that you wrote in line 4. So if code is black, that means you're not using it. If it's white like this, that means you're using it. Now let's run this. Right now, where you wrote Oluwafusho, remove Oluwafusho in there. Remove Oluwafusho. Write anything. My name is whatever, like a whole sentence.
My wife's name.
A is my wife. Space is my wife. Space is my wife. And I love her. Now let's run it again.
Wow. Okay, so the value.
You see, so string is the type. The name that you see there is just the name of the variable, and then the information in there is what is the values, right? So now when we're there, I want to explain something very, very important, right? So you might hear some noise. I'm just trying to make some tea.
It's fine.
If it's distracting, you let me know.
No, sorry.
So there is something I want you to notice, right? What I want you to notice is that when we created this variable, I say variables are like a container, right?
Yes.
And so whenever you write string, what happens inside your computer, think of it like there's a very short guy who runs and does things for you, right? So when you say string, that guy runs and creates a space, a container that can store string. So that now, whenever you are putting in the value, the computer is expecting the value to be of type string. If you put a value that is not a string, it's not going to work.
Okay. So the
Do you
computer
get it?
expects you that if you say you are running a string, you have to put all the information that will make it a string for you to run
Exactly.
it.
And the only way
Okay.
something is viewed as a string is when it's within those two quotation marks.
Okay.
That's
Got
how
you.
we know
That's
something
where I
is a
missed.
string. Yeah,
That's where I
that's
missed it
why,
earlier.
yes. So to know something is a string, you know it by that. And then also on the other side, the string itself is called a reference data type.
Oh, I missed you that part. You said the
A
string is what?
string is called a reference data type.
A reference data type.
Yes. And I'll explain that in tomorrow's lesson on what a reference data types are.
Okay.
But that's what a string is called.
In case I want to refer back to note, will I get it? Whatever you're saying now, will I still get it in a note, or is just whatever I write down?
Yes, you should write down, and also you can rewatch this video. You can rewatch this video a couple of times.
Okay.
Okay.
Reference data type.
Now, so basically, let me see if I can use an annotation and explain this. Well. Now, well, okay. Let me just do it from your side. That's fine. So that you already have the code, right? So press enter. Now, one thing I'll tell you is, I'm giving you a hint. The way we create variables is just the same. The formula is the same, right? We start with the type of the variable it is. Then we follow with the name that we give it, and then the values, and then the semicolon, right?
Okay.
Now, the strings only store sentences, words, right? Now, we want to store numbers, and numbers are called integers, right?
Integers.
Yes. So in Java, if you want to create a variable that is an integer, you write int, right?
INT.
Yeah, write int, all small letters. Exactly, space. So that tells the computer that whatever we're going to put here is going to be a number, right?
Ah.
Say age, give it a name, whatever name you want.
I will say color.
You can't call it a color. I just told you that int, the computer, that little guy in the computer expects you to put a number in whatever you're going to put there.
Okay, so integer what?
You
Because
can say age.
age. Okay.
Then what do you think follows afterwards, after the name? Yeah, good, but remember, put space. Now, integer just stores a number, right? If it's a container that stores a number, so what do you need to put afterwards there? That one I told you only works for strings.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So it just do numbers, right?
Yes.
So that one is for strings. So you just put numbers, right?
Yep. Good. And how do we end the statement? No, you just put number, one number.
One number. Okay.
You can say 1 or 24 or what. There you go. Good job. I'm clapping hands for you. Good job. Good job. Good job. Do you see that?
I see that. So I understand what you're saying now. So basically, at the end of any variables, we have to put that.
The
What's the
semicolon.
sign? The sign is what's confusing me. Semicolon. Okay. Sorry, man.
Yes.
English is just okay. So that's semicolon. Okay, you have to
Yes.
put. So string is one variable, integer is one variable, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So from my understanding, you say
So
string.
string is one data type. And integer is one data type, is another data type. There are about 5 data types.
So
when you're
string is just a type of variable, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay, like you're
Yes.
explaining, like you said, variable, but the type is the string, and the
Yep.
name is just the name of the string, and you get equals to, and the other one here is just the value that will come out of whatever string they do. So now you're saying data type. Yeah, that's another new word I need to get used to.
Yes. So a data type is just basically says
Mhm.
what type of variable it is. Remember, I said that these variables are like a container, right? So
Right.
data type is just asking what container this is, so that the computer knows what to put inside that container. Right. So when you say string, it knows only words and sentences, or even numbers will come inside this one, but it will have quotation mark, right? So when you
So
put things
integer
without,
two, can you say integer two is another reference data type? Can we say that too? Or
no. There's only one reference data type, which is the string. An integer is called a primitive data type. I'll explain that to you. And the difference between that and that, you see that a string is white. You see, string is white. And integer
yes.
is yellow. Eh?
Right.
Yes. Why? Because a string is a reference. You are making a reference about how this variable is stored. That's something that we'll talk about tomorrow. But today, I'm just going through the different types of variables you can create, right?
Got it.
So for age is just the name of the variable. Int is the type the variable takes in. It says it takes in numbers, and then you put the value 1, right?
Right.
Good.
Right.
Now, there's something called a float. A float is just a number that is a decimal, like 9.7, 3.2, right? So now, go to line 7, enter. Yeah, create a variable called float. And you call it cost, and then you give it whatever number you want. Exactly. You are now following. You see that? You call it cost. You can call it cost or whatever you want, equals to, and then you give it the amount. Well,
Does that make sense?
it does, but it says that, did you miss something in there? Right click on it. Whenever you have an error, right click on it, it will tell you. Right click on it.
What is it on there? Computer is international. Oh man. He showed me now. Why is it running away? Double.
So the reason why it's not working, right, is after point 2, after the 2,
yeah,
after you write point 2, after the 2, on the other side of 2, they put a small f.
Small
F.
Oh,
So the F stands for float. So it basically tells the computer that this number is a float.
so do I have to put that every time I write a float?
Yes, if I say write a float number, after that you should put an F.
Got it.
You got it? Now,
Yeah.
so this is another primitive data type called float. It stores. So if you want to create a variable that has numbers like 3.4, like a number that is decimal, then you use the float.
Okay. Got it.
You get it?
Got it. So far.
Okay. Now, there's another one called a Boolean. A Boolean only stores two values. If something is true or if something is false.
Okay, so Boolean stores true, false.
So
So it's more like a true or false statement, correct?
yes, so if you are trying to store a variable that is a true or false statement, you use a Boolean.
What is that true?
So now let's create a Boolean. Starts with B. You see that? You don't have to write everything. You just say tab
That's true. You told me tab, right? Oops.
when it shows up. Tab.
Okay.
There you go.
Gotcha. Just a
I'm just
Boolean.
call it is happily married.
It's a big word. It's,
Just say is happy. You can say is happy.
I will say good.
Yeah. Yep. So if you have a variable that has a lot of characters like good guy, right? The next word that you are using should start with a capital letter but combined together. So now if you want to say good guy, when you have variable naming, good, put guy, put capital G. No. Good starts with small letter. It's fine. All variables start with small letters. But if it's a variable name that is long, right? Like good guy, your guy should start with a capital G.
Oh.
Good guy, exactly.
Why is that? Why is that?
That is called camel casing. That is how the variables you see are going to be written like. So if they say good guy is happy, right? Right now, right is. How do you think is should be written after that? Good guy is. Right is
Good
there?
guy is
No, there is no space inside the variable name.
okay.
You see now, it gives you an error. Why? Because it's not an error, it's a warning. Why? Because your is should start with a capital I. And then happy, how do you think happy should start? Exactly. Good. That is called camel casing. That's the name of the variable.
So it doesn't give everyone you start with a good, but whatever follow the good is So how do you write a statement? I don't know.
The statement you write it inside a string. This is just giving the names to a variable, right? So whenever you give names,
So
the
let's
names.
write another one. Maybe that will help me. Add.
Just say bad boy or bad man or
Bad moment.
Yep, that's good. So okay. That's the name you're giving the. So your variables should always have a name that is intentional.
Okay.
Meaning
it has to be intentional.
The name, yes, so that when somebody looks at it, understands what does that mean, right? So I know when I read line 11 that we are talking about bad moment is intentional.
Okay, that makes sense. So what do? You close it. What follow?
Yeah, the same way we did above, man.
The same
That's
way.
how
Okay.
computers are so easy. We said, what does this thing store?
Yeah.
It only stores
The
true
red
or
stuff
false.
means true or false. Yes.
Yes, that's the only thing this Boolean stores. So you wanna set it to true or you wanna set it to false?
I can say true.
And then what do you do after? There you go.
Got it. That makes sense.
Right. So now the last one is called a character. A character is a variable that only stores a letter, and it does not have two quotation marks, but instead only one. You see the
Okay.
quotation marks for a string that are two.
Character. You say character stores a what? I'm sorry. I'm writing down.
It stores a letter,
Stores a letter.
just one, yeah, just one letter.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
It's right ch. No, it's primitive, so it starts with a small c. Yeah, ch tab.
yeah,
Press tab. Yeah, there you go. So you have said what type it is, then put the name.
But you say character, right? I thought I was supposed to spell character.
No, that's the shortcut. Just
Oh,
like
that's the short.
integer on line 6. That's
Mm.
it
Okay, so
helps you
that's the
know.
short form of character.
Yes. So if you say char, the computer will know you're talking about character.
Okay. So we have to store a letter. So maybe a letter G.
Yeah, you can call it grade. Call it grade.
Right.
Remember, you start type, name equals, and then the value.
Okay. Character name.
And I said it stores single quotes. Line 3, you have double quotes. Here, it's just single quotes. No, just single quotes.
Single quote.
Yeah, that one. And you put your letter, whatever you want to put inside.
So character. Okay, so character comes with a quote.
Yeah.
Boolean, you don't need a Boolean don't need a quote, float don't need a quote, integer don't need a quote. Correct?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, let me write that down. Comes with a single quote. Okay, so in the quote we have to put a letter, I believe, since it's a single letter. Is that
What?
correct?
What did you say?
I say in the quote it has to come with a letter, right?
Yes. Put the letter inside. And then you close it.
I believe you do this.
Yes.
Okay.
You get that?
What did you
So
say?
tell me what you noticed by just from what you have wrote today.
What I noticed?
Yes.
Different codes, different what's it called again? I can't say it's a multi-line comment, but well, I wrote different stuffs so far. The
Yeah,
platform.
that's why I'm from what you wrote. That's why I'm trying to understand what is it that you noticed.
Are you asking me if there's a problem?
No, there's no problem. I'm just wanting you to retally, like, tell me again what you have noticed from that one.
From the last one I just wrote, like this character one.
Yep.
Hmm. Notice the grade change. This grade here changed. And also this color for A gives me a green color.
So what I'm saying is, I wanted you to, what pattern did you notice on how we declare variables?
Most of them they look the same. It's the same pattern where you have the type and so you have this age here that follows the name, like the name of the string, name of the integer. So just like your string here, which is the type of the variable and the name and the value. So I noticed that
Mhm.
all of them follow the same pattern, even floats, starting with the variable float and the cost name, and gives me a value of 7.12, and we close it. Same with bowling.
Mhm.
Variable bowling was able to give me bad moment. There's a name and the value, which is true. Same thing with character too. So I think it's the same pattern.
Okay, that's good. I'm sending over your homework that you are gonna do right now.
Hmm?
You're gonna do the homework of a similar thing.
Okay. Send it to my email.
Is that the easiest?
How do you want to send it before? You send it here on the platform or just on?
Okay, let me send it on the platform. I have to be sharing your screen as you do.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then so try to follow your notes.
Sure.
Like I tell you every day in my class,
Hmm.
we learn code, you write code. Okay, here is your uh I sent you the assignment in the
Mm,
chats.
okay. Okay. Mm, so anytime I go back to the record, that means I can always see this now, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
No, this
So,
is, I want you to do it right now.
okay. Right now, like this very now.
Yes, the
Okay.
things you just learned right now.
Okay. So create a class and create the method. in the class.
The PSVM is the public static void main.
Right.
Okay, go ahead and do that. My guy, wait, what's happening?
I'm creating a class, right?
Yes, but what is it called? You wanna follow instructions exactly as the instructions were you were given. Otherwise,
Ah, yeah, that's what I was missing. Create the class human. Okay. Okay. Mm, mm.
no, that's a long way. PSVM, not PVSM. You see, I just saved you a minute,
Okay.
and I'm gonna
PSV.
keep quiet until you say you're done. Because this one here, the next things should try and read and understand it exactly. What is that?
Okay. Create the string name. What is again? What is it?
Does it make sense?
Mhm.
Is everything making sense?
What did you say?
I'm saying, is everything making sense to you?
So far, I want to make sure I have it the way I was. Now, the dailies you said I should print all of them.
Yeah, you can.
Please use system to print all these on
Okay,
different
I
lines.
didn't show you.
So,
Now go there. So
mhm,
inside this, inside those brackets, this is a
mhm.
method, and this method takes in a string, right? So I want to show you something. Put double quotes in there. Write my name is, and then get out of the last quote. No, right. Put space.
Okay.
Put the space there and then get out of it. Go to the other side.
Okay.
No, the other side of the last quotation.
Mm,
Between the quote
right.
and the no, between the quote and the quote. I want you to go between the quote and the between the quote and the I think that's
Right there.
yes. Space plus. Put the
Plus.
plus sign. Space. Put the name. The name of your variable.
Okay. The name of my variable.
Yes, the first one. Yes.
Person name, right?
Tab.
Sure.
Just say tab, bro. It's easier.
Oh, tab. Okay.
Space
Space.
plus space. Put double quotation marks again. I am.
Double quotation.
Yes, I am.
I am.
Yeah, I am. I am.
Hmm?
Go outside. The same way you did the space plus and then age.
What's the I am for?
We're trying to create a message, right? Now, yeah, then close that.
Okay, I'm lost here. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's still the same. I got it. Close. Run that. Do you see that? It says, my name is Alpha, I'm 30. So system.out.println gives you the ability to use these quotation marks, right? So if you are trying to create a sentence,
how did you come up with my name is
it's just
plus all those
so system.out.
area
Okay, system.out.println is a method, right? That we
right.
get from Java, and that method allows us to print anything that we want. Right. So what I did was I took a string, I just wrote it from my head, like my name is, comma, plus person.name. So for person.name, they're taking the value that you put for name there in line 3. And I am this. Okay, now I want you to comment out line 8. Now, down underneath, put SOUT. You know what to do next. And then print out the person name.
The what?
Person name.
Okay.
Tab, bro. And then do the same line 9 for age and line 7 for gender. Go to line.
Okay. So I'll go line 10, correct?
Yeah. Now you don't have to do all that. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Line 9, enter. SOUT.
Oh, I don't have to do that. That's true.
Then print out the age. and then the gender. You see, when you write with yourself, you mess things up. Mm. You just autocomplete to save your life. Okay. Now, this is where we're ending today. Can you explain to me what you just did? The whole thing in your code. Explain your code to me. Starting from the
Okay.
class, everything you used.
Okay. So basically, my class, my public class is my main class is human, and my method, we have here on line 2, which is my public status void main, which is my method, which is Java is the one that generated that, and
Why?
this will, huh?
Why did Java generate that? You're talking to me as if I don't
Just
know code. You're teaching me.
okay.
Mm.
Generator just to make it easier, but I can do that too according to your explanation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But just to make my code easier, Java generate that. So this is more like a room that will explain what is going to go on, which is what bring me to line 3,
Mm-hmm.
where my string person name.
What's
This is
that?
my string right here. This is
What
my
is that?
variable.
Okay.
My variable, the string is my variable, and then that's the person, the name of the variable is a person name, and which is equal
Yeah. How
to
do you know it's a string?
no is a string by looking at the some of these stuff values that I'm saying here. It has a quotation,
Mm-hmm.
double quotation to be specific here.
Oh,
So with that, I can tell this is a string.
good.
So going to line 5, that brings me to the integer, the variable integer, the name, the age, the variable is the age, and which gives me a value of 30. And this tells me this is an integer. And with the character,
And how do you know
I
it's an
insert
integer?
because of the numbers is a number,
Yeah. And
gives me
also,
value,
it tells
and
you
also
what variable type it is, right?
Hmm?
You see, in the beginning, it tells you what variable type it is. Right. It
it tells
says
me what
int.
value that yeah, it says int, yes, int, yeah, which
Yes.
means
So,
short form for integer, like you said
okay.
earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
So that takes me to line 7 with a
Mm-hmm.
short form of character char, which is a variable, and the gender being the name of the variable, and which takes us to a value of
Mm-hmm.
m with one quotation instead of
Okay.
two. So this will
Oh,
let me
so
know that this is
characters
a
use
character.
one quotation only, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
With
Nice.
one letter, with a letter, right? With a single
Mhm.
letter. I don't know. I think you said something like that.
Yeah, it stores only one letter.
I know you
Mm.
said something else, bowling too. Bowling is the one with the true or false statement, correct?
Exactly. Hey, look at
Yeah, we
you,
didn't do that one
Professor.
yet. That's the only one. He's a professor.
Mhm. I see.
Yeah. So maybe later in the next class we'll do bowling, right?
If you want, can you create another variable now of type Boolean
Okay.
and call it whatever you want to call it, and then print it out.
Mm,
Are you enjoying this?
I love it.
You're like, wow, things like this exist.
I don't know. It's kind of new. Let's see what we got here. So we got alpha, 3.5. Okay, so I noticed something.
Mhm.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I just noticed something. It didn't print the last one, so this is what I'll do to fix that. So to don't tell me. I'm gonna make sure I know what I'm doing there.
Yeah, that's actually a very good characteristic of a developer. Where whenever you have an error, try
Mhm.
solve it alone before you involve
Okay.
me. It helps.
See, I'm already having that, right?
Yes, you have that. Uh, I have taught people that would like 2 minutes. It's not working. Why is it not working? I'm like, come on, bro. Try and see exactly what's wrong.
Figure it out first before you ask me, right?
Yep, and then you
Okay, so
ask
what
me.
I noticed so far here is the name, like you explained, right? The the name is what the system output will need, and output will give the value. So the value is what
Yes,
I'm getting here. So I get it now.
exactly.
That makes
Be-
sense.
Because
Okay,
it's easier to give a name than an output. Mm,
got you, got you. Okay, this is interesting, bro. Wow,
Yeah, and
wow, wow, wow.
and
You
you
know
know
what?
what's fun?
Whatever you did here earlier, please don't involve me yet. This one is blowing my head for now. Maybe
Hmm?
later I can be doing this. I said whatever you did here.
Yeah, I will explain it as you
Yeah,
go. Oh,
yeah, yeah. This one is easier. I was able to get this part.
okay. Now, uh, I want you to do something.
Okay.
I want to try. I want us to try and print two things at the same time, right? So I want you to create another variable called uh, another string variable. You
Print.
uh, call it whatever you want to call it, and inside there, I want you to write a a write something like my name is.
Inside way.
Yeah, so it's a string variable. You just call it my name
Mhm.
is.
My
Yeah, that's the value I want you to give it. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it X. It's fine.
okay, I'll call it maybe uh, love person.
Yep, you can call it that, and you can. I want you to write it. My name is. That's the value of string.
So, so the value is what? My
My name
name
is.
is
Mhm.
my name is what?
Just my name is. That's all. Only that.
That's it.
That's it. Mhm. Uh, now, now after that,
Mm-hmm.
uh, my name is. It's a string. The question is, what? Why is it red?
Okay. It's string here.
Red is always danger. That means something is wrong. What do you think is wrong?
Yeah, the quotations, I didn't put it since it's a string.
Good. Nice. Now that my name is a string can store a sentence, so I don't know why you put it together.
Ah, that's true. Another
You
default.
you can do it like that when you're putting it on a name, right? When you're creating a name, that's how you put that. Now it's just a sentence.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, I want you to do the same thing. Line 17 to print. You see how you do system.out.print line?
You want me to, okay, so I can outprint my name is correct.
Yep.
Mm, mm, All right, so basically I want
Okay.
to outprint this
Now,
and it'll give me the value.
yep. Now, in my name is in love person, right? Put a space
Where?
inside love person, line 17. After love person.
Okay, put it. Okay, put a space.
No, inside the quotation, the brackets,
Oh,
space, put a
mhm.
plus space, and then uh, put the person name.
To David.
No, no, no. The person name line
What?
3. Line 3. The
Oh,
variable.
that's me.
Just press tab,
Okay.
bro. Now print that. Before you print, before you print, I want you to comment out line 16 to line 12. No, no, no. Highlight all of them.
Line 16 to line 12 to line 16.
See line 13, right? Highlight from line 13 to line 16. Highlight.
Okay, highlight.
Line to line 16. Press Control backslash. Highlight first.
Light 16.
Highlight 16 to 12.
Okay.
You want to highlight all of them at the same time. You start from top to bottom, brother. Or bottom to top, whatever the case. You can start
12
from
to
13. 16th,
13.
that one is
Okay.
already commented out.
Mm-hmm.
Highlight that. Highlight all the way to 16. At the end, no, yeah, including 17.
No,
Don't
16.
include 17.
Include
Yes,
17. Don't include 17. Okay.
yes. Then Control backslash.
Control,
Backslash.
control and slash.
Yes, the slash, that is the backslash. It's the one that is with the question mark.
Oh, okay. Control and slash together.
Yes, Control slash. Control Z. Press Control Z.
Control Z, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can press Control and Z. First you press Control, then you press Z.
Okay.
Control Z is what you do when you want to go back.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't go back. I don't know why. Control and
Now,
Z. Sit together.
are you pressing control?
Yeah, control is CTRL, right?
Yes.
Mhm. Oh, I have to hold it down.
Yes. Now change where you wrote David and write person name. Press tab, brother.
Yeah, I should get used to that.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
trying to make you use so that you become a fast developer. Okay, now do the same thing from 13 to 16.
What should I do?
Highlight 13 to 16, like I told you, highlight 13 to 16. Yes,
Okay.
and hold down control and backslash. Okay, control Z. Then control and backslash.
Control and slash, correct?
Yes, the one that is next to shift.
Yeah, control, then slash. Just control and slash. That's it.
Hold down control and press slash.
Oh, hold that control and press slash.
Yes,
Ah, so I can't do it together. I have to hold one down first, then press the other one. Okay,
yes, that's
got
why
it.
we say control plus slash.
Okay, got it.
You got it?
Okay, so got it.
Okay, now run it. So we're doing that so that we don't have to print the other things. Run.
Mm,
Look what it's got printed.
My name is Alpha. Okay, but
You see that? And if you want to make the space, go to ease. You see where there's ease?
mm-hmm.
No, inside in your, I will do the cleaning tomorrow. Don't worry about it. But I'm trying to show you that system print out, you can print variables together.
Together.
Yes, if they're the same type. If they're not the same type, you can also use the strings
But now I'm
inside there.
confused how you said my name is Alpha. Where did you get that from?
What's the name of your variable?
Right. Oh, love person. Okay, print this value.
Mhm. And then
Then
it added it to.
person name. Ah, okay, plus person name. So, okay, wait, let me see what you did here. This right here is the name variable. So you just
Mhm.
put that plus the love person here, and it
Mhm.
gives the value vote. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I just combining the things.
You combined it in together. But let me not start with that combination. It might confuse me. Maybe with time I can be able to
Yeah, I'll
play
do it
around.
daily until you understand it because you're gonna need to use
Huh?
it. Okay, that's all for today. Uh, so
Fantastic.
so your homework is to go back, try and work around. If you have errors, try to fix them.
Yes.
Tomorrow you might have
Mhm.
a 1 hour exam. The exam is basically like, you see what I did today? I'll give you instructions
Mhm.
and you go ahead and do it. Because I believe people learn by doing than by just listening.
Yes. Yes, that's me actually. I have to do if I don't do.
What did I promise you when we started?
You
Remember
said
what I
it
said?
hands on. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see what I mean.
Yeah. This is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a
Okay.
lot honestly, I don't believe I'm doing this. So, thank you.
How many times did it take you? 4 hours. You already know these things. Mm, mm. Yeah, I
Interesting.
tell you, man.
Okay, so whatever you record, you send it to my email. Also, the note will help me. I like to keep what I like to do, keep my own notes, so that way I
Yep, you
can be,
should.
you know. So
You
maybe when
should.
you send whatever we learned today, maybe the PowerPoint or whatever, I might also go add that and read through that, and also add that to what I learned today. That will help me a lot of ways. So
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. So this one is also going to come with the lesson 1 notes today.
okay.
So
So I will put that
sometimes,
in my email, and then tomorrow when we meet, I will have already my brain will be
Mm.
refreshed and ready for the next lesson.
yeah, so tomorrow we're meeting at 11 o'clock my time.
I'm going to
So
church, brother.
wait, what time
Remember
do you
we
come
said
from church?
I come back like 1 o'clock.
Oh, what did I say? I said 4, right? My time.
Oh, you said 11 o'clock.
Midnight.
Did you say 11 or 4? What time did you just
No,
say?
I
4
said
o'clock?
4. Yes, 4 to
Okay, 4,
6.
4. Okay, 4. Yeah,
Mm.
4 your time will be, is that not 5 o'clock my time?
Yeah, that's 5 o'clock your time.
Okay, good. Yeah, perfect. All right. So we'll meet 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay, good. I'll send you on the
I was
with all this. I hope this was helpful, eh?
very helpful. Very helpful.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you. Will this save automatically on my IntelliJ, or do I need to close it? Um,
IntelliJ. Okay, now I want you close it as I'm watching right now. Close it.
close this one.
Your IntelliJ.
It says, are you
Exit.
sure you want to exit? Exit. Okay.
Now open your IntelliJ again. It's right there already down.
Okay. It looks like it saved it. Food, sleep. Yeah, this one we just did. That's the old one. Yeah, it saved it. Perfect. All right, brother. So it's nice having this fantastic lesson with you. So we'll meet tomorrow. Are you there?
Yo, man, there's a fire alarm. I gotta go.
Okay, okay.
Okay, see you tomorrow.